just like music.
Alright, well, welcome back to episode number 3 of Just Like Music. I'm Justin Kanoya, and I've got something that's really going to be a lot of fun this week because it's one of my most favorite releases from Select Mix Hot Tracks, and that is Old School Essentials. Got the cover right here. So this is Old School Essentials 12. This release has actually been out for a little while. It's just taken me a little while to get around to reviewing it. But some great stuff from the Fugees with Lauryn Hill. I've got Heavy D and the Boyz. There's Eazy-E. I'm going to play a few things for you here today. Of course, you can always go to selectmix.com and hear full versions. And that's a phone rating. So we're going to check some of this stuff out right now. Alright, so we're going to get started with a little tune from the Fugees. I know earlier I mentioned Lauryn Hill, but this is actually a Fugees track. Of course, Lauryn Hill is the lead singer of the Fugees. But we're going to get started with a little song we all remember called Fuji La. It's got a great little intro to it, great little beat, and then the little hook comes in. So again, it's something that you might mix into some dinner hours, or if you're doing a little mellow, sort of the early evening at a club, definitely could mix in little Fugees and Fuji La. So that's Fuji La, track 4 on Old School Essentials number 12. Alright, moving on. This is a track that probably you may not recognize right off the bat, but for the hard school Humpty dancers, you might hear it kind of kick in here a little bit. This is Digital Underground, probably one of their lesser known hits, but still a hit nonetheless, and one of my favorites. Little Underwater Rhymes. So Underwater Rhymes by Digital Underground. Alright, so as I've mentioned before, I DJ a lot of weddings, and occasional weddings you get requests for Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and I get a lot of requests for this song in particular. A song that's a little bit hard to mix in, and of course you want to find a clean version of it. We've got it now here. It's What's My Name with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Great little intro. I could definitely see myself mixing this in when it's appropriate. So that's a remix of What's My Name with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Alright, now, while I don't get a lot of requests for Tone Loc, every time I play it, people go nuts over it. That includes both Wild Thing and Funky Cold Medina. So I would highly recommend for DJs out there, I mean, that's something where you may not think that people would get into, but it's a highly recognizable song. If you're playing for a wedding or a group of people that are in their mid to late 30s or even early 40s, this song, both of those songs were hugely and highly popular when they were in their teens. So it's really gonna go off well. And what's great is Select Mix now has a remix of Funky Cold Medina. Take a listen. Now you might recognize that beat, probably something you could mix into or out of some Black Eyed Peas, My Humps. It's right around 118 BPM, so a lot of songs like from Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, the Pussycat Dolls, you could definitely mix in a little Funky Cold Medina with any of those mainstream, now contemporary artists. So that's Funky Cold Medina. Alright, so I'm going to take you out with one last old school track, and this comes from that early 90s era. Now, I know when I first started DJing back in the 90s, I was playing a lot of Heavy D, but it was stuff off the big time albums. So, you know, the Over It, Love It, Heavy D, you know, the girls, They Love Me. But this is probably one of their biggest hits. It was, I think it was on the MTV To Go Volume 2 album, and of course it's Heavy D and the Boyz, Now That We Found Love. So I'm going to take you out with this for this edition, and remember you can always go to selectmix.com and hear all of these tunes, plus a lot of other of their releases. But anything off Old School Essentials 12, you can listen to the intros of all the tracks. It's chock full of stuff, some really, really great music. So keep listening to great music out there, and I'll see you next time.
We just getting started.